Hi everyone, my name's Holly Millican and I am a mathematics teacher here at South Grafton High School. This is the first video in my series on making maths fun. Now today I'm going to take you guys through some of my top revision activities that I really enjoy doing with my kids. I really try and get the kids up out of their seats and doing as many different things and as many fun things as they can with revision to really make those key aspects of the topic stick with them. My first activity is a self-made one called Revision Jenga. Now this activity does take a bit of setup initially, but once you have the basics, it's simply a matter of creating new questions for each topic. So for this one, I bought a basic Jenga set from Kmart which cost me $5.50, and I painted the blocks different colours. I then created task cards, which you can see on the table there, to match with each of the colours. Now the students are directed to take a card which matches the colour block they pull out and answer it on the corresponding Revision Jenga worksheet. If a student is unable to answer a question, they may pass it on to another member of the group. The catch with that is that group member must then explain to the rest of the group how to answer the question. So they can't just answer it themselves, they've got to actually be able to explain and teach the rest of the group. Now all of the resources for this activity I made using Microsoft Word. So it is really something that's quite easy to put together. Like I said before, it does take a little bit of time initially, but it's such a great activity that can be differentiated for a whole range of students across a range of skills, and it can really be used for any topic. Now my next activity is something called Plickers. This can be found by Googling Plickers or by going to plickers.com. Now for those tech-savvy people out there, you will realise that yes, I am holding a QR code. The way that I work this in my class is I will print one of these out for each of my students at the start of the year. They will glue it into the front of their books and it will be their code for the year. Now Plickers works via a combination of a website, an app, and these little beauties. Each of these codes has a number attached to them, so students are more than welcome to share their number with other students or keep it to themselves if they would prefer to remain anonymous in answering their questions. Now, the way that this is set up, I will put all of the questions into the website. They will then be projected up onto the whiteboard sometime during the lesson. Now, students are to hold up whether they think it's A, B, C, or D. The great thing about this website is that it takes about 3 seconds for me to scan my phone around the room and see exactly who's gotten the question right and who's gotten the question wrong. This is then calibrated through the website for me. I don't have to do anything. The most work that it is for you as a teacher is setting the questions up at the start. So these are a really great revision activity because once you have the questions set up, you can use them again and again, and it's really easy to differentiate for higher or lower level classes and to use them for a variety of topics. Now my third resource that I wanted to show you guys today is a Clark Creative Education resource. They are called Whodunits. Now these can be used across a range of topics as well. You can either get them from the Clark Creative Education website or from Teachers Pay Teachers. They cost about $3 each, so I try and use them maybe once every couple of weeks with my kids to keep it interesting. Now, if you've ever played a game of Cluedo as a kid, then you'll have a basic understanding of how to use this resource. The kids themselves get a double-sided piece of paper with working out space. Now the key thing is this at the bottom here. Now this shows the kids that there are players, there are weapons, and there are murder spaces. Now on the flip side of this, you as a teacher get given these. There are 10 clues that you can place around your room. I tend to laminate mine so that they can be reused again, but I know teachers that will print them out just in paper, fold them up and really try and get the kids looking for the clues around the room. So the 10 clues have 10 different multiple choice questions that the kids need to answer. Now when they answer these questions, it will give them a clue that was on that piece of paper before, so it will either cross off a person, a weapon or a room. And eventually when they've completed all 10 clues, they will be left with who the murderer was, what weapon they used, and which room they did it in. It's a very simple activity that the kids actually get really, really engaged with. It comes across a range of topics, and it gets the kids up moving around the room. They can work in pairs or threes, and you yourself can add whatever you like into the activity. I add a bowler hat and mustache for whichever team finishes the activity first, and they all vie for the title of Sherlock for the next week. So it can really be expanded and incorporated into your classroom practices, but it's a really good activity to combine that critical thinking at the end of a topic alongside some really, really in-depth questions. As math teachers, it is all too easy for us to just flip to the end of the chapter and use that really nice little chapter review we've got given there. But I know personally for me, when I was a high school student, there is not one chapter review that I remember doing. There's not one chapter review that I was like, oh my God, this is exciting. Never. They're not exciting. They're 40 questions that, yes, absolutely review the content, and that's what we want. But let's try and use them in a different way, a way that gets the kids excited, a way that gets them to go, hey, I remember that. We did that crazy murder mystery thing, and I remember learning that. Give them something to reference it to more than just the content, because while some kids, yes, will undoubtedly enjoy doing the chapter review and will be able to do it and remember the questions, it's not for everyone. So if we can expand this revision and really try and make it more accessible to more students, then I feel like that's a good thing.